Welcome to Iprof Learning Solution. Well student, we are going to study a very important topic of physics, and it is optics. As far as IIT JEE is concerned, it is really a very scoring topic. Now as you all know, optics is the study of light and vision. This is the branch of physics which deals with study of light and vision. Now before we get into fundamentals of optics, we need to understand one very basic point, that the sense of vision lies in mind, not in eyes. The common perception is it is our eyes which sees the entire universe. Now let's take example. We see lot many things around us. We see this entire universe. Now what's happening exactly? Light reflected off from different objects around us, it enters into our eyes through eye lens, forming an inverted image at the back of eyes, which we call it the screen retina, and through retina there is an optic sensory, and this signal goes into mind. We can call it the data. Mind analyzes this data and comes to conclusion that we are seeing the object or the universe. Now here it is the interpretation of mind. The event of seeing is happening in mind. Of course, eyes are involved, which we can call natural optical instrument. Now we can understand this very fundamental point of optics, which you can call it a foundation point in terms of modern technology. Brain can be looked upon as hardware, mind can be looked upon as software, and our eyes are equivalent to closed circuit camera. So we can put it this way: our mind sees the entire universe and the object around us through this closed circuit camera called eye. So here we come to the conclusion, and let me put it again: the sense of vision lies in the mind, not in the eyes. Let's understand classification of optics. Now before we get into the real fundamentals of optics and problems of optics which are categorically asked in IIT JEE exams, we need to understand what we are going to study in this branch of physics, optics. Now this optics is classified into two broad branches. One is called geometrical optics. Now this geometrical optics, we also call it ray optics. Now this branch of optics is based on the idea that light travels in straight line. We put it more technically that it is called rectilinear propagation of light. The entire theory and the entire details are based on this point. Now in this branch of optics, that is geometrical optics, we are going to study three topics: reflection, refraction, and shadow formation. Now let's see the other classification, and it is physical optics. Now this physical optics is divided further into two branches. One is called wave optics and the other is called quantum optics. Now this wave optics is based on the idea that light travels in the form of waves, and based on this idea we are going to study three important topics: interference, diffraction, polarization. And in quantum optics, now this branch of optics is based on particle nature of light, and here we assume that light has a particle nature, a different idea. And the common example is a photoelectric effect. Of course, this particular branch of optics we are not going to study under optics, we will study it as a part of modern physics. Well students, before we again enter into details of optics, I have felt personally there are two things important in physics, be it any branch: the basic definitions and the basic laws. Now to play with problem solving should become a fun. That's only possible when we are very comfortable with basic definitions and basic laws. Now here we are studying optics. Now in optics there are certain basic things related with light. Let's know it in the beginning, and time to time we will be entering into details of it, but it is good to know in the beginning.